Hello, my name is Kristyn Evens, and I'm your guest host for the school district's new digital showcase, Inside Lake Schools. Coming up on this monthly edition of Inside Lake Schools, school headlines from newsmakers across the district include the STEM Bowl competition, the Science Fair winners, and the Spelling Bee repeat champion. Then, Chief Academic Officer Dr. David Christiansen is on the show to talk about exciting changes coming next school year to every Lake County high school. Now, here's what's making news around the school district. Our big story this month is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. From high school to elementary schools, STEM is fueling student achievement. Organizers say the annual Lake County STEM Bowl enriches student academic abilities. Hosted in February, groups of 5th, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders from elementary schools across the county competed in the Quiz Bowl. The students exhibit excellence in problem-solving, collaboration, and perseverance by tackling 10 questions relating to STEM. Several of the questions include design tasks. At the 3rd grade competition, students were tasked with building a tower with uncooked spaghetti noodles, tape, and string. Winning the 3rd grade competition was Cypress Ridge Elementary. Astatula Elementary came out on top at the 4th grade event, and Treadway Elementary finished at first at the 5th grade competition. Congratulations to all the STEM Bowl participants. Students in Lake County middle and high schools demonstrated their prowess in STEM at Lake Regional Science and Engineering Fair. More than 115 projects were submitted by students representing 9 middle schools and 4 high schools. Best Show honors went to Ashley Kropp and Peyton Turner from Umatilla Middle School in the junior division and Rishi Basdeo from East Ridge High School in the senior division. The high school and middle school winners of the 2014 Lake Regional Science and Engineering Fair will compete in the 59th annual state competition in Lakeland later this month. Rishi is also invited to the International Science and Engineering Fair in Los Angeles next month. In other STEM news, Linnea Weissman, science teacher at East Ridge Middle School, was selected for a fellowship through the New Science Teacher Academy. She is one of the 200 middle and high school teachers chosen for this opportunity. Selection criteria included showing evidence of a solid science background and displaying strong interest in growing as a professional science educator. East Ridge Middle Principal Charlie McDaniel said, "As a science teacher early in her career, this is an incredible opportunity for her to network with scientists and teachers across the country to bring back to Lake County some of the best STEM thinking available."
For Linnea Wiseman, as far as her being chosen as a fellow from the National Science Teachers Association, it's a phenomenal opportunity for her to network with scientists across the United States and bring back some of the best STEM thinking that we have available.
Congratulations are also in order for Lake County teachers recently recognized for their outstanding work. 47 teachers who were nominated by their peers to represent their respective schools were honored at the Teacher of the Year celebration, presented by the Educational Foundation of Lake County. 4th grade teacher Rachel Adams from Round Lake Elementary Conversion Charter was selected as the Lake County Schools Teacher of the Year. Other finalists for the honor also included Keith Hineshaw from Leesburg High and Tiffany Scott from Mount Dora Middle. 3 finalists remain for the Lake County Schools Rookie Teacher of the Year: Laura Fagan from Windy Hill Middle School, Lindy Massaro at Umatilla Middle School, and Cynthia Murray from Eustis Heights Elementary. Finalists for the School-Related Employee of the Year are Nilda Rivera from Human Resources, Lydia Flores from Title I Department, and Allison Ald from Leesburg High. Congratulations to all of these finalists for going above and beyond to give their very best every day to help students achieve. The Educational Foundation is scheduled to announce the winners for each award. Speaking of the foundation, its annual No Duck Left Behind Rubber Ducky Race was a hit this year at Pig on the Pond. More than 8,500 ducks were adopted. In total, schools received more than $18,000 in proceeds from the race and carnival. The lucky winner at the event was H.M. Foster. His duck raced to the finish line to win the $5,000 college scholarship. Back to student news. Lake Schools has a repeat champion in the district spelling bee, as Crystal Harris from Umatilla Middle was the champion speller at the bee last month. The entire competition at the Eustis Community Center was completed in 38 rounds. Harris only needed 22 rounds to secure the same title last year. Harris correctly spelled cantata in round 38 to win the bee. As an 8th grader, this is Harris's last year to compete in the bee. Future bee competitors will have to account for Nathan Akamea from Cypress Ridge Elementary, who is only a 5th grader and came in as the bee runner-up. To wrap up this month's headlines, a story from my school, Lake Minneola High. Need to know when the Hawks play their next game? No worries, there's an app for that. Thanks to teacher James Martin and students in a game, simulation, and animation course at Lake Minneola High, the school now has its very own app. The informational app features up-to-date news, calendar of events, bell schedules, course descriptions, and much, much more. The Android, iPad, and iPhone version of the LMHS mobile application are currently available to download. More news from Lake Minneola High. We also offer various AP courses and some of the more uncommon foreign languages, like Chinese, which is the second business language of the world. Our hunger for success has even been evident in our sports. Both boys and girls golf team and bowling team made it to states this year. The cheerleading team placed 8th in the nation. Also, our very own boys basketball team made it to states, making us all so proud this year, placing 2nd, with Avery Brown as the team MVP. I am confident that we will be seeing prominent business leaders and pro athletes hailing from Lake Minneola in the near future. Also, almost a third of our senior class has been accepted into a 4-year institution and has already received $261,249 in scholarship monies thus far, which shows our dedication to our legacy of academic excellence. There's quite a bit going on at Lake Minneola other than sports. Drama Club will be showcasing their production, Guys and Dolls, at the end of April, and the Robotics Club had their competition last month. We aren't just great because of the iPads. We're great because we have a great leader, Miss Shepard, who is firm but loving. We all call her Mama Hawk. And the administration staff works great alongside her to keep things in line. And because of our will to constantly succeed, we are Hawks, honorable, academically focused, wise, kind-hearted, and successful. Now, over to Chris Patton and his interview with Dr. Christiansen about the changes to high school instruction.
Thank you, Kristen. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. David Christiansen, the new Chief Academic Officer for Lake County Schools. Hi, Dr. Christiansen. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You recently came from Fresno, California. What brought you to Lake County Schools?
Well, I'm from Central Florida, but I was just really excited to see Dr. Moxley and the board's vision and mission of serving all students in college and career readiness for all students. And that's just exciting to me. And I agree with that vision, and I'm excited to support it.
One of your big roles when you're a high school principal, and I think when you're out at Fresno, was looking at the high school schedules and instruction. You've recently taken on that project here with Lake County Schools. You made a presentation to the school board recently. What's some of your findings that was in that presentation?
Well, first of all, it needs to be said that our high schools are doing a good job. We have no D or F high schools. We've had steady improvement in graduation rate. Our CTE programs are as good as any I've seen across the state. So there's a lot of good things happening in our high schools. But we did realize that we do have some problems of practice, some concerns that we have noted. 4 problems of practice: student achievement, meeting the needs of every student, resource optimization, and teacher support. So first, I'll take the issue of resource optimization. Right now in our schedules across our 8 high schools, depending on where you live, you may get 30 minutes less of instruction per day. So we really wanted to look at how do we set up our schedules in a way that's fiscally responsible, that's fiscally conservative, that is going to have the maximum amount of instructional time for kids and also provide an opportunity for teacher collaboration. So we put our heads together and worked through it, and we came up with that a 7-period day is the best way to do that. It allows us to save $5 million, about $4.6 million in our budget. Mm-hmm. And also, as we looked at the 7-period day, we can standardize our start times and end times and set up the schedule in a way that we can add 42 days of instructional time per class.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
42 days. And when you're talking about start time, end time, you're talking about the bell times, the time the kids have to be in the class?
Correct.
To the
Yeah.
time they're
What
dismissed.
time? Yeah. What time do you start school? What time do you end school? You know, and obviously transportation plays into that. But we realize that even though we have a large, you know, Lake County's like 1,200 square miles, so you have a big area to cover. But you can standardize those times, and by going to a 7-period day, you literally have more time for kids in algebra and English, and that's going to lead to more success.
So what's our current schedules look like at the high schools as they are now? From what I understand, they're on a block schedule? Can you
Yeah,
explain that?
it really depends on the high school.
Oh,
So
okay.
some high schools are on a 4x4, which is kind of a block, where students have an opportunity to take 8 credits during the school year.
Mhm.
But classes essentially go from August to December, and then they start over. So you only take 4 classes at a time.
Oh, okay.
The advantage of that is obviously getting more credits. The disadvantage is you actually have less time in the core classes, the classes that really matter for college.
So you talked about meeting the needs of students. By going to a 7-period day, what's some of the opportunities it's going to provide students in meeting their needs?
Yeah, I mean, meeting the needs of every student is critical. And we realize, number one, as we go to a 7-period day, we need to keep our CTE programs intact as best as possible, because that's really a strength of Lake County. And I think when we think about meeting the needs of every student, we need to make sure we're accelerating their learning. More time does that, but also in terms of how we support those students. If you look at it, a 7-period day, you actually have more intensive time in those core subjects to understand their needs. So you start to get diagnostic
Because you're going
information.
all year round, right?
Yeah, you're going all
from
year round.
August to June, you're going
Yeah.
taking Algebra 1.
Exactly, and right now, some of these blocks, you're absent, it's like you're missing 2 days. You don't have math every day. You only may have math from August to December. So now, when you talk about meeting the needs of every student, you could argue every student can benefit from English every day. Every day, all the way through the year. Same thing with math, same thing with science, same thing with social studies. So these are subjects that the more time and the fact that we're in it every day and we're in it all the way through the year, we can really understand their needs at a deeper level.
Do you think that will help with the proficiency, as we talked about, meeting the needs of students in some of these state assessments?
What I can tell you is my own experience. So I was principal at University High School near UCF and at Evens High School for 5 years in Pine Hills. And in both situations, we went from a 4x4 to a 7-period day. In both scenarios, at Evans, we went from an F-rated school to a B-rated school. We improved our graduation rate from 49% to 85%. The schedule's only one part of that, but I will tell you, kids respond to having these same classes every day. It's just a natural evolution that occurs. It's also difficult as a teacher. God bless them, they're trying to keep a teenager's attention for 90 minutes. That's difficult to do.
So you talked a little bit about teacher support as you just went into. Going to this 7-period day, what's going to be some of the advantages for teachers and for staff at this?
Yeah,
high
the
schools?
beauty of this schedule, on a block, you can't have common planning because the way the block works, it's not possible to set that up in the master schedule.
When you're talking about common planning, you're talking about certain teachers meeting together?
Yeah, like if you and I are English teachers, we're both teaching 9th grade English. We have a block of time every day that we can work together where we're not teaching.
Oh, okay.
That will be the case across our district now. So everyone that's teaching the same subject will have common block time where they can work together with their colleagues. And that is critical. You know, when you talk about collaboration, especially as we take on these new Florida standards and a new way of assessing kids, they need to have time to work together. So that's planned into this work.
And when they're doing that common plan, I imagine they're working on lesson plans and seeing what works and what doesn't work with students?
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at student results, they're making database decisions, they're really breaking down how do we intervene and accelerate kids' learning, those that are struggling and those that are a little bit ahead. how do they share best practices? Not only sharing lesson plans, but sharing criteria for success like rubrics. What prompts are they using? Because now a lot of these new Florida standards in the assessment focuses on writing. So what kind of reading, writing, listening, speaking, and academic language is occurring in the classroom on a daily basis?
So as you see this more collaborative time increasing between the teachers, you're hopefully going to see more writing in different subjects. Is that what you're?
Yeah, really what we're looking at is more literacy, because if you look at our results, as a district, we were an A district at one point, now we're a C-rated district. We want to get that A back. We feel like we can start with this redesign at the high school level, and then we can actually look at it from a pre-K-12 continuum, and it's not just about school grades, but that very much plays into home values, property values, community pride. So we believe we can get that done through this work.
It's very exciting. So parents, one of the things they'll be looking at is students will have different schedules next year, but also the start times, as you mentioned. Many of your high schools may be differentiating their start times 10 to 15 minutes here and there.
That's right, yeah. So we just have to wake them up a little bit earlier. But it's only about 10 minutes in the morning and about 10, 15 minutes in the afternoon. Be a little bit longer day, but ultimately, like I said, when you add 42 days of instruction to every class, that's a tremendous benefit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a
amazing.
tremendous benefit to students.
Well,
Yeah.
Dr. Christian, I really appreciate your time. And
Yeah.
thank you for joining us on our first edition of Inside Lake Schools, and hope you'll see you again next month.